Hello and welcome to the section on Adobe Bridge. Now before we get into the details on how to use Adobe Bridge, let's look at what Adobe Bridge is and how you can use it to streamline your workflow. Adobe Bridge is an awesome program for helping you be more organized and help streamline your workflow. It's not just a program for Photoshop, it is a stand-alone program. You can use Adobe Bridge to help organize all aspects of different programs. You can use it to organize your files from other software programs like Adobe Illustrator, Adobe InDesign, or any of the other Adobe products. The good news is you're not just limited to Adobe products. You can also organize all program files and folders that are currently stored on your hard drive. You can organize your Microsoft Word files, Excel files, or any other type of program that you may be using. In that regard, Adobe Bridge is very similar to the file browsing system provided by your operating system. However, I do prefer to use Adobe Bridge for organizing my files and folders in order to easily access what I need when I need it, save my favorites, and much more. So let's go ahead and take a quick look around Adobe Bridge and get a better idea of where everything is located. So up here we have some icons to help us navigate to other folders, either by using the arrow icons to go back and forth between different folders, or we can click on this drop-down menu to select a specific folder. Or we can use the breadcrumb trail option here to help us go back to a different folder we just visited. Now, if you find yourself trying to remember where you just were, and you want to quickly find recent folders that you just accessed, then come up here and click on this icon here. This is going to show you all the recent folders you just accessed, and then just select the folder you need, and Bridge will automatically take you there. Alright, so next to that we have an icon that looks like a boomerang. And that's going to take you directly back to Photoshop. Now this button here that looks like a camera allows you to get photographs directly from your camera and organize them in Bridge. And then next to that, we have a button called Refine. When you click on it, you're going to have a couple of different options that will help you organize your photos and provide additional information. All right, let's say you have a bunch of files selected and you wish to rename them. Well, you can come here and do a batch rename of all those files. Once the batch rename dialog box is open, you are presented with different options for renaming your files, and you can do a simple sequence number or any of these other options as well. You can also add information to your file names by clicking on this plus icon here. This way, if you want to add text followed by a sequence number, you can do that, or vice versa. It's up to you. So once you're happy with your selections, just click Rename and all your files will be renamed. Now we can also access file information about our files with this option here, and we're going to go into more details about this in an upcoming lesson. Alright, let's go ahead and select some photos, and we're going to go into review mode. And as you can see, we do have some shortcuts in Adobe Bridge as well. So this one would be Command or Control and the letter B. And that's going to take you directly to the review mode. Now once you're in review mode, it's going to show the photos or files for that folder. By pressing the left or right arrow keys on your keyboard, you can navigate through all the files. And this is a great option for allowing you to go through your images and to take out the bad ones and then find the good ones. So reject the bad ones, keep the good ones. So as you navigate through and decide you no longer want a certain photo, you can hit the down arrow key on your keyboard and it's going to remove that photo from the view mode. And then if you use the up arrow key, in case you accidentally removed a photo that you didn't want to remove, and then it's going to reappear. And then if you right click on a photo, you will have options to rate your photo either with a label or via a star system. Plus, you have some additional options here as well. So this is a great way to quickly go through your images and select the best of the best and rate them accordingly. You can also utilize collections in Adobe Bridge to help you organize your photos for easy access at a later time. And you can do that by clicking on this icon down here to create a collection. So once you have that collection created and the photos are added, it's not actually duplicating or copying the files into that folder. But what it's doing instead is it's linking to those original images in that particular folder, and it's just arranging them all into a specific folder so you can access that folder at a later time. So you're basically just seeing a preview or a thumbnail of the original image, and you're not copying the original here. Now you can also use collections to help you organize specific photos that you may need at a later time. So for example, you can have a collection of all your 5-star images, and then you can also have another collection of all your 5-star images with, say, photos done at a specific location, whether it's a family vacation or a wedding venue or photos taken at, let's say, the Grand Canyon. You can have different collections to help organize your photos for easy access later on. All right, let's go ahead and go back into Bridge, and we're going to check out the rest of the program options. Now up here, we do have another option, and this will allow us to open our RAW files directly in Adobe Camera Raw. Although I just think it's easier just to double click on the photo that we want to open up in ACR versus coming up here, but that's entirely up to you. And then finally, next to that, we have 2 buttons that will allow you to rotate your images. Now, just like in Photoshop, we have workspaces to help us streamline our viewing while working in Adobe Bridge. You can access different types of workspaces right here. And as you can see, we have Essentials, Film Strip, Metadata, and more. And to see the rest of the workspace options, just click on this little arrow to show the additional pre-made workspaces. And again, just like in Photoshop, you can also create your own workspaces and save them for your own personal workflow. And then we also have different options for searching, sorting, and rating our files from here. All right, over here on the left, we have our left panel, and we have some different options for navigating our folders. We have a Favorites and a Folders tab. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about utilizing favorites in an upcoming lesson. Okay, so below that, we have 2 more tabs. One is Filter, and the other is Collections. Now check this out. In the Filter section, Adobe Bridge will provide you with easy access to photos or files with specific information. So this is a great way to find a specific file quickly and easily by doing a filter search. If you utilize keywords in your workflow, it's going to tell you what keywords and how many keywords were used in that folder of images, or you can do a filter based on any one of these other options. Now, if you're having a hard time seeing all of these options here, then click on this little icon and you can activate all the different filter options by selecting the one you want. So let's say you want to find a photo or photos based on a specific type of lens that you used. To do that, you're going to come down here to the lens filter option, and it's going to tell you all the different lenses used and how many photos were used with that particular lens. So let's say you want all your photos with a 60mm lens. Well, if you click on that, it's going to automatically narrow down your search for photos taken with that lens. And then if you'd like to use collections to organize your images, you can locate all your different collections right here under the Collections tab. All right, over here to the right, we also have some more panels with additional information about our files. So up here at the top, we have Preview and Publish. The Preview option will allow you to view your file, and you can also use a zoom tool to zoom in to get a better view of that image. To activate the zoom tool, all you have to do is hover your mouse over that image and then click in an area to zoom into, and Bridge will do the rest for you. You can then grab one of the corners and move that zoom tool along different parts of the image to navigate and view different areas of the image. Then, to get out of the zoom tool, just click on this little X to close it out. Then, under the Publish tab, you can publish files to the Adobe Stock Contributor or your Adobe portfolio. Then, under that, we have metadata information about our photo files and a Keywords tab. So let's take a look at metadata first. From here, you can see what aperture, shutter speed, and ISO settings were used for a particular image file, and it also lists the size of that file as well. So it's basically the file properties for that particular file. Then, below that, we have additional information about our file, and we're going to go into more detail about this information in an upcoming lesson. Then, in the Keywords tab, you're going to use this section for adding your keywords. So if you would like to add keywords to your files, which is something I recommend, you can do that here. So to add a new keyword, you're just going to come down here and click on this plus icon, and then you can type in that keyword, and then just click on the little box next to it to add that keyword to that particular file, or files if you have multiple files selected. All right, just one more quick thing, and that's down here at the bottom. And you can see some information about the files within that folder. It shows how many items, the size of the individual files, or if you select all the files, it will give you a total size for all of the files combined. You can increase or decrease the size of the thumbnails with the slider here. And you can also change how you view those thumbnails within the interface here. And you have some grid options. You have some grid options with metadata, as well as a content list option, and that's entirely up to you on how you want to view your files. And there you have it, a quick overview of Adobe Bridge. In the next lesson, we're going to tackle another fun and exciting lesson, and it's all about the preferences of Adobe Bridge. I know it's not that exciting, but we had to go through it to set up Bridge to work for us instead of us working for Bridge. So if you're ready to get started on that and get it over with, I will see you in the next lesson.